Okay, so today we're going to be going over reducing fractions. So before we start, I want to go over a few rules here, okay? So, say I have a number like 200, and I want to know which numbers between 1 and 12 fit into 1 and 12 fit into 200. So, there's some rules. As we know, 1 fits into everything, so let's just forget about that for a second. So for 2, if the number is even, so if it ends with a 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, then we know that it's divisible by 2. Okay, so for 3, if the digits of the number add up to a number that's divisible by 3, I'll explain what that means. So 2 plus 0 plus 0. These digits here, right? These digits add up to, let me just rewrite that, add up to a number that's divisible by 3. 2 is not divisible by 3, so 3 is not a factor of 200. Let's look at 4. So, for 4, if the last two digits are divisible by 4, then yes. So the last two digits here are 0, 0, and 4 is divisible into 0, so yes, this is divisible by 4. Let's look at 5. So if the last digit is a 5 or a 0, 0 or 5, it's 0, sorry. The last digit here is a 0. So yes, it's divisible by 5. Let's look at 6. So for 6, it has to be divisible by both 2 and 3, and it's not divisible by 3. So it's not divisible by 6. Okay, let me just separate that. 7. So 7's a little bit weird in the sense that, okay, so the rule for 7 is you have to look at the last digit, which is 0, and you double it, so you multiply it by 2, 0, and then you subtract it from the rest of the number. So 20 minus 0 equals 20. And if the result is 0 or divisible by 7, then your total number is divisible by 7. And here, as we can see, 20 is not divisible by 7, so 200 isn't divisible by 7 either. Okay, let's look at 8. So for 8, the last three digits must be divisible by 8. So there really isn't any way to check this besides putting it into short division. So divided by 8, this is 2, 4, 0, minus 45, it's 25. So yes, it's divisible by 8. So let me just check mark that. Okay, let's look at 9. So for 9, the digits have to add up to 9. The 2 plus 0 like we did over here. And because it's 2, and it's not divisible by 9, so 200 is not divisible by 9. Let's look at 10. For 10, the last digit has to be a 0, and in 200, the last digit is 0. So yes, it works for 10. Let's look at 11. So 11, the rule is you take the first digit, you subtract the second digit, and you add the last digit, the third digit, keep going until, and then it alternates plus, minus, blah, 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 until you get to the end. So our answer is 2. And, let's see. So 2 is 2 divisible by 11? No, it's not, which means that 200 isn't divisible by 11. So for 11, it's not. Okay, let's look at 12. So the rule for 12 is it has to be divisible for 3 and 4, and because it's not divisible for 3, but it is divisible for 4, then that means it's not divisible by 12, because it has to be for both 3 and 4. Okay, so the greatest number that it's divisible by, if it's divisible by 2, it's not divisible by 3, divisible by 4, divisible by 5, not by 6, not by 7, yes by 8, not by 9, yes by 10, not 11, and not 12. So our greatest factor is 10. So 200 is 10 goes into 200. Okay, so that's what we've established from this over here. So now let's look at these questions. 2 over 8. So we want to find a number that goes into both of these. So let's look at, does 2 go into 2? Yes, it does. And does 2 go into 8? Yes, it does. There isn't really much work that we need to show here because 2 over 8 is such a simple question, so we could just divide the top and the bottom by 2, and it's 1 over 4. So whatever you do to the top, you also have to do to the bottom so that you don't change the fraction. Okay, so 1 over 4. Let's look at number 2. 2, 8 over 12. So let's look at 8. Does 2 go into 8? Yes, it does, because 8 is even. Does 3? No, it doesn't, because the digits don't add up to a multiple of 3. Does 4? Yes, it does, because 4 goes into 8. Does 5? No, it doesn't. Does 6? No, it doesn't. Does 7? No, it doesn't. And 8? Yes, 8 does. Okay. Now let's look at 12. Does 2 go into 12? Yes, it does, because it's even, because the last digit's even. Does 3 go into 12? Yes, it does, because the digits, well, you could do this on your finger, 3, 6, 9, 12. Does 4, again, you could do this on your finger, so there's no point for going into the whole steps and everything. So yes, it's divisible by 4. It's not divisible by 5. It is divisible by 6, because it's divisible by both 2 and 3. It's not divisible by 7. It's not divisible by 8. Not divisible by 9. Not divisible by 10. Not divisible by 11. It is divisible by 12. Okay, so let's see the greatest number that both of these are divisible into. So, not 8, not 7, not 6, not 5. Oh, look. 4 goes into both 8 and 12. So we can divide the top by 4 and the bottom by 4. So we get 2 over 3, sorry. 2 over 3. Because 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So it's 2 over 3. That's our answer.